Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Giselle. I review fragrances, as you probably know, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your loyal support. So guys, today I'm here with part 2 of affordable alternatives to more expensive fragrances. So if you're interested in learning more about these fragrances, you know the drill. Stay tuned. Welcome back and let's get into it. I'm gonna start the list with one fragrance I have. I don't have the other, unfortunately. I just left it in the hotel in Hawaii, and by the time I realized I didn't have it with me, it was too late and the fragrance is not there anymore, so they can't even ship it to me. So unfortunately I don't have it, and it is Sakura by Dior, by Maison Dior. It belongs to the niche reserve line. And I have here Fleur de Cerise by L'Occitane. So they are pretty similar, honestly. So this is clearly the alternative to Sakura. Sakura retails for $250 for the small bottle, which is it plus tax, of course. And I think I paid $60 or around that for this one. But they are very similar, not only in vibes, but the scent. So let me tell you a little bit of Sakura. Sakura is based on cherry blossom. It's something typical from the Japanese culture, and you can even tell by the name Sakura. It's a very common last name also in Japan. In Sakura is a very bubbly, fizzy, beautiful, floral, airy, ultra feminine, super refreshing. It's beautiful no matter how much you spray. I love overspraying, especially those type of fragrances. I don't want to be mindful, right? And that's the case with Sakura. Regardless how much you spray on, you won't offend anyone. It's absolutely beautiful. You have your cherry blossom there, you have your rose, it also has violet, it also has jasmine. And again, regardless how much you spray, it's really an inoffensive fragrance, and it is a crowd pleaser. So it's also a little bit soapy as well, I would say. So this is not soapy. I don't find it soapy. No, when I say soapy, it's not necessarily like laundry-like. Do not think I'm talking about like laundry type of smell or anything like that. It's just that it smells super duper clean, right? Not laundry. If it's like a laundry scent, I would tell you laundry so you can understand, right? But this one is not soapy, but still it's a very clean fragrance, very bubbly as well. It's almost fizzy. It's so nice. This is more fruity than Sakura. Sakura is more floral. This is more fruity. This has the cherry blossom, but it also has the cherry fruit accord. So that is what makes the fragrance more fruity and even more gourmand, if you will. Both are absolutely beautiful fragrances. Honestly, from a lasting power standpoint, I would say they are the same. It doesn't mean that the Dior one will last longer or project better, or it's not like that in this case, at least. They have a very similar performance. They are very similar in vibes. I would say you will get the exact same vibes with a very similar scent, and performance-wise, it's gonna be pretty much the same. So I think Fleur de Cerise is a very good alternative to Sakura by Maison Dior. I can't believe I forgot it, but what can I do? It is what it is. But yeah, this is a great alternative. This is the thing. Now that I have this one and I don't have the other, I don't know if I'm gonna repurchase it because it's still $250 plus tax, and there are many other alternatives in the market. Although Sakura is absolutely beautiful, I have to think if I will repurchase it knowing that I have this. So the next pair on my list, guys, is Kayali Vanilla 28 and Korres Black Sugar. I talked about both fragrances before. Let me start with Black Sugar. Let me spray here. It's so beautiful, guys. This is a beautiful vanilla. It's sweet, but it's not cloying. It's not sickly sweet. It's borderline gourmand. It's very inoffensive. The start of this fragrance is the black sugar or brown sugar. Of course, it's the same, basically. It's sweet, but it's not cotton candy like. It's very nice. It's very soft. It's powdery. It's balsamic. It's woody. I talked about this fragrance a couple times, and in one of the videos I've included this was office safe fragrances. I'll link it here. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very inoffensive, a crowd pleaser. It's very, very nice. It has rose, it has lily, it has caramel. The caramel and the sugar are the gourmand components here. It's very beautiful, honestly. It's a great vanilla to layer. I layer this like crazy. I think I use this more for layering purposes than on its own, but it's a great fragrance. Korres is a Greek brand. It's a clean Greek brand. They are very eco-conscious, and yeah, they have really nice fragrances. This is my favorite. Now, this is a good alternative to Kayali Vanilla 28. It's not crazy expensive, but still this costs at least twice what this one cost. So if I'm not mistaken, but it is definitely more expensive. It is a very similar type of vanilla. It's also, this is richer, this is sweeter, and this, I think this is more gourmand. This is almost like chocolatey. As I said before when I reviewed this fragrance, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a very neutral vanilla, perfect for layering. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I think these two are pretty similar in vibes and also scent. It's not like this is gonna be like very similar, like a dupe or anything like that, not like that, but they are the same type of vanilla. They are both kind of neutral. They are both perfect for layering. This is super gourmand. This is borderline gourmand. This is a little bit more woody. This is a little bit more chocolatey, I would say. This is very gourmand. It's beautiful, guys. I think if you want to invest in Kayali Vanilla 28, of course, go for it. But if you urgently want a vanilla that you can layer, a neutral vanilla, and if you like brown sugar, as it is the case in this one and in this one, I think Black Sugar by Korres is a great alternative to the more expensive counterpart Vanilla 28. Both great fragrances. So moving on, guys, the next pair I have for you is Lalique Soleil and Korres Gold. So Lalique Soleil is a beautiful fragrance, nothing against that. It's a very solar fragrance. This smells like vacation in a bottle. It's super elegant. It's very chic, very refined. It's a beautiful floral, fruity, slightly gourmand scent, slightly lactonic. It has a little bit of everything. The notes are to die for. It has candied almonds. It also has bitter almonds. It has coffee. It's slightly lactonic as well. I wonder if it has maybe almond milk. I don't know, because it's slightly lactonic. It's also very creamy. It has caramel, cardamom, coffee. Very beautiful. But honestly, I will stick to what I said previously when I reviewed this fragrance. I think it's a little bit overhyped. However, it is a very beautiful scent. It's very beachy without being tropical. So I think that is what makes this fragrance a little bit unique, because usually solar fragrances tend to be beachy. This is not. This is vacation in a bottle without being beachy, or let's say it could be considered beachy, but it's not tropical. Hope it makes sense. But yeah, however, the alternative I have is Korres Gold. I also reviewed this fragrance before. It's very beautiful, very soft. Unfortunately, performance lacks here. It's very soft, but it's very beautiful. The difference, I would say the main difference between these two, you will get the exact same vibes, with the exception that this is tropical, while Lalique Soleil is not. Lalique Soleil is very beachy, it's solar, it's vacation in a bottle, as I said, but it's not tropical. Well, this is. Coconut here is very prominent. It has a little bit of scent and lotion vibes, but still it smells like fragrance. Don't worry, it won't smell like you have sprayed scent and lotion. It's beautiful. It's very affordable. It's very creamy, very feminine, very buttery, very nice. It has frangipani, coconut, a lot of coconut. It also has jasmine, vanilla, strawberry. I usually struggle with the strawberry note, but here is super well blended. It's a very soft fragrance, and unfortunately it doesn't last much, but I think the magic of this fragrance is like that. So moving on, guys, the next pair is Iris Poudre by Frédéric Malle. This is Edition de Parfums, and this is the vintage Samsara Eau de Toilette. Guys, these fragrances are surprisingly similar, and I'm comparing the vintage version. I compare this with the modern eau de parfum. It is still similar, but it's not as similar as it is with the vintage eau de toilette. I haven't tried the vintage eau de parfum. I'm trying to look for a new bottle sealed, but it seems it's impossible. But anyway, this is a vintage eau de toilette and it's almost identical, super duper similar. Now, Iris Poudre is a stunning iris scent. It's not your typical iris fragrance. It's like I can smell iris a mile away, but this is not your typical iris. I can tell there's iris here, there's the powderiness, there's the typical accord that iris gives fragrances, but still it's not your typical iris. It's super duper elegant, very, very sophisticated. Wow, this is sophistication in a bottle, guys. It's a musky scent. It also has some aldehydes. It has sandalwood, it has iris, it has ylang ylang, it has jasmine. It shares many, many notes with Samsara. It's a floral fragrance with a beautiful, beautiful, woody, musky, dry down. Very, very beautiful. It has great sillage, it has great projection. Massive, massive compliment getter. Every time I wear this, I get massive compliments, really, mostly from men, just in case you care. It's stunning, really, especially during the colder months. I tend to use this more during the colder months, but I haven't worn it since the summer started, but I will because it's really, really beautiful. Now, the counterpart, the most affordable option is, as I said, the Samsara Eau de Toilette, but the vintage version. If you want to have a real option, something super duper similar for a more affordable price, don't buy the modern version. Although it is similar, it won't be as similar as this one. Samsara must be the most reformulated fragrance in the market. I don't know through how many reformulations this fragrance went through. This is the original. This is a batch from 1989, if I'm not mistaken, and it is an original batch that hasn't been reformulated, so you can smell the Mysore sandalwood here. Gosh, this Samsara has been always a reference, especially when it comes to sandalwood fragrances, and yeah, it's super duper similar, honestly. It also has jasmine, it has sandalwood, it has ylang ylang, the perfect combo notes that share with Iris Poudre. It's a stunning fragrance, especially for the night. Of course, this is a very polarized fragrance. You will find people that, of course, they hate Samsara, especially the vintage one, and people like me who love it. Samsara to me is the queen, and I will always keep a vintage version in my collection. Actually, I wanted the eau de parfum, but I couldn't find it, so I bought the eau de toilette, and I can't be happier. So if you like this type of floral woody fragrances that smell super luxurious and super duper expensive, this is a great alternative to Iris Poudre by Frédéric Malle, Edition de Parfums. So guys, the next pair on my list is Velvet Rose and Oud by Jo Malone and Nirvana Rose by Elizabeth and James. This is gorgeous. This is a gorgeous scent. It's definitely one of my favorite roses, not just in Jo Malone, but this is one of my favorite roses. It's totally different than red roses that comes in the clear bottle, which is very nice. Both are very rosy scents. This lasts definitely longer and it's deeper, it's richer, but I'm not comparing to that one. This is just a side note, but this is beautiful. I wouldn't say this is heavy hitter. It's not a beast, but it definitely has a better lasting power than the clear bottle counterpart, like red roses, for example, right? It's slightly lactonic, probably because it has praline. Praline is the filling that goes inside chocolate candy that has a high percentage of milk and cream and butter and everything. So it's slightly gourmand, but do not expect a gourmand scent. This is not a gourmand scent, but it's sweet enough to put it on a borderline gourmand list. It's very, very beautiful. It's very sophisticated, very, very chic, and it's not generic at all. It's not your typical rose oud combo. It's definitely a rose. You can definitely smell the oud here, but it's not a generic rose oud combo, as I was saying. Now, Elizabeth and James. This is Nirvana Rose by Elizabeth and James. Elizabeth and James is the brand that belongs to the Olsen twins. This is a very rich, totally different type of rose. Very rich, mysterious, very, very decadent. It's also very sophisticated. This is a very sexy rose. It's a very rich, opulent type of rose. This is a type of fragrance that I would wear during the night, while Velvet Rose and Oud, it's a more daytime type of scent to me, but I can definitely pull this off during the night. In fact, I have worn this fragrance more during the night than during the day, but if I compare them both, I would say this is more for nighttime, while this is more for daytime. This is a very earthy type of rose, also very, well, not very, a little bit spicy, I would say. The spices are here. It's very velvety. It has geranium, it has vetiver, so you get the earthy component here. It also has May rose or rose de grass. It's a very delicate type of rose that only blooms during 3 weeks in the month of May. So this is a very unique rose fragrance on its own right. It's very beautiful. There's nothing generic here. It smells way more expensive than it is as well. I would say this is a great alternative to Velvet Rose and Oud. They smell similar. They are a different type of rose, but they smell similar. This is sexier, this is richer, this is more opulent, this is more chic, this is more on the elegant side, this is more on the shy side. This is for people who are attention grabbers. Well, this is more for the shy lady, but both are gorgeous. They smell similar. I wouldn't say this is a dupe. In fact, you know, I don't talk about dupes in my channel, but this is a great alternative to this one. This is super affordable, and let me tell you another difference. This smells class. This smells money. That's the difference. You know, you can buy class with money, so you get the point. But this is the main difference. So jokes aside, so I think this is honestly a great alternative to this one. So guys, the next pair is not here. One is the more expensive option is Love Osmanthus by Atelier Cologne, and the more affordable alternative is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I don't know how many bottles I went through. That is a fragrance I'm not planning to buy anytime soon. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna repurchase it. I'm done with Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. It's very beautiful, but really I use it for so many years. I went through so many bottles. I'm done. Now, Love Osmanthus. I wanted to buy it, but when I smell it, and it smells so similar, like 99% similar to Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, I didn't buy it. It didn't make sense, but they are absolutely similar, guys. I think it's incredible. It's similar to, if you watch my video, I will link it here, part 1. I review Gucci Rush, the original Gucci Rush, the red block, and I compared it with Clive Christian X. So they are super duper similar, and this is the same here, right? X by Clive Christian is like 10 notches above Gucci Rush, and I would say it's pretty much the same thing here. Love Osmanthus is like, I don't know if it is 10 notches above, but I would say 5 or 6 notches above Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, but they are super duper similar, as it is the case of these two fragrances I just mentioned. Again, Love Osmanthus smells more expensive. It is more expensive and smells more expensive, but again, they are super duper similar, and if you want to save some bucks, go for Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. And I'm talking about the original, not the intense, the very lemony citrusy one. And yeah, that's a really good pair, and Light Blue is a really good alternative to Love Osmanthus. So guys, the next and last pair I have for you is Dahab by Kajal, and it's Ivris by YSL. So Dahab means gold in Arabic, and when you smell this fragrance, everything makes sense. As I said before when I reviewed this fragrance, this is liquid gold in a bottle. This smells super duper luxurious. This is an expensive fragrance, however, it smells even more expensive than it is. It's a fragrance I will always have in my collection. It's very luxurious, very lush, very sophisticated, super duper juicy. The start of this fragrance is the passion fruit, which, as you probably know, is a fruit that is tart. So you have a lot of juiciness, a lot of sweetness. It's a very sweet fragrance, but it's tart. tart at the same time. It also has green apples, it has cedar, it has patchouli, and it has amber. I think the green apples together with the tartness from the passion fruit is what makes this fragrance perfectly balanced, because otherwise it could be sickly sweet. This is a very sweet fragrance, but again, thanks to the tartness of the green apples and the passion fruit, this is not cloying at all. It's a very sweet fragrance, but wow, it's stunning, guys. Super, super, super luxurious. It's very intoxicating, it's very addictive, it has a very nice lasting power, very luxurious. This screams class, it screams quality, it screams sophistication. Everything I had to say about this fragrance is 10 out of 10. Now, I have an alternative for this one, which to me is equally beautiful, guys, and it is Ivrisse by YSL. So I talked about this fragrance before. I love this fragrance. This is actually the comeback of the original Champagne. Champagne was the fragrance that has been launched in the 90s. It was stunning. It was pretty similar to this one. And due to trademarking legalities of the name Champagne, they had to rebrand and repackage the fragrance. And years later, they call it Ivrisse. And so what I find pretty cool is that you can read the notes right here. And it has nectarine, lychee, rose, fleur de violet, which is violet, and patchouli. And it says 1993, probably it's the original formula of Champagne. The main difference is that this has nectarine as the star, while the Dahab has passion fruit as the star. So this doesn't have tartness, but it has lychee. So lychee provides a lot of juiciness and also that watery type of scent that makes this fragrance a lot more easy to wear. And although it's a very, very sweet fragrance, it could almost be cloying for some people if you don't really enjoy very sweet fragrances. In spite of that, the lychee provides dewiness. It makes the fragrance more watery. So it is the magic trick. I think the apple here together with the passion fruit is, as I said, what balances out the sweetness of this fragrance, while here is the lychee that is making the trick. This is a very juicy, very uplifting, very fizzy type of fragrance. I believe the fizziness has to do a lot with the original fragrance, which was Champagne, right? There was no way to market a fragrance called Champagne that comes in a packaging that resembles a champagne bottle without being fizzy. So it is a very fizzy fragrance, very uplifting, very invigorating, perfect for summer. Actually, this fragrance blooms in summer. The warmer and the more humid, the better. And it's simply stunning, guys. It's super duper affordable. It costs a fraction of the price of Dahab. Nobody cares about this. So I love to, as I always say, I love to smell unique, or at least as unique as I can. And this fragrance gives me that. And every time I wear this, I get compliments, literally. I wore this fragrance twice this month and for 2 occasions, and the 2 times I had to write down the name for people because they asked me what I was wearing. So yeah, Ivrisse is a great alternative to the more expensive but gorgeous counterpart, Dahab by Kajal. So Ivrisse, I forgot to mention, Ivrisse is another toilette. However, it projects better, it has better sillage, and it lasts longer than many other parfums I have in my collection. And so I hope you don't get discouraged by that. I hope you can try it because it's beautiful. But you have to enjoy very sweet fragrances in both cases, both for Dahab and for this one. So guys, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed my video about affordable alternatives to more expensive fragrances, part 2. Let me know in the comments below if any of these fragrances spark your interest, or if you know any of these fragrances or own any of these fragrances, and what are your thoughts on them. You know, I'm very interactive with my audience. I love when you guys leave me comments and questions down below. And yeah, I hope you stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.